I never planned to end up in Black Hollow Forest. It wasn't on any of my maps, not that maps helped much back then. It was the summer of 1976, and I was working a logging contract in the upper reaches of northern Maine. 4 of us stayed in a trailer camp about 20 miles from town. The others were seasoned woodsmen, rough types, quiet around strangers. I was the youngest, the green hand, fresh out of college, just looking for work and solitude. We'd been clearing land for a new road when the weather turned. 3 straight days of cold rain. The ground became a sea of mud. On the 4th day, a chain snapped. A truck skidded, and one of the men, Reggie, broke his leg clean through. I volunteered to go for help. The main road was supposed to be 5 miles east through the forest. I took a compass, a flashlight, and Reggie's rifle, just in case. The others warned me, don't go through the hollow. Walk around if you hit the birch line. I asked why. They just said, old ground. Wrong kind of quiet there. By late afternoon, the rain had stopped. Mist hung low over the trees. The forest was dense. Old pine and black spruce, trunks slick with moss. I walked for hours, but the light never changed. Eventually, I reached what I thought was the birch line they'd mentioned. A stretch where the pines gave way to tall white birches, their bark peeling like old paper. That's where I made my mistake. I kept going straight. The ground softened beneath me. The trees grew close together, their roots like veins through the mud. The air turned heavy, a stillness that pressed against my ears, and then the forest began to smell. Not like rot, but iron, damp metal. The compass needle started to spin. When I looked up again, the path was gone. By nightfall, I was still walking, following a sound I couldn't place. It was faint at first, like a low humming, almost mechanical. Then it grew clearer, a rhythmic pulse, like a generator deep in the woods. That made no sense. We were miles from many power lines. I followed it. The trees opened suddenly into a clearing, and there it was. A single lantern hung from a branch in the center of the clearing, burning with a strange white flame. It wasn't flickering like normal light. It vibrated, humming softly. Beneath it stood an old wooden table, and on that table, a compass, my compass. I swear it was mine. The same scuffed brass case, the same cracked glass. But I hadn't dropped it. I took a step forward. The light dipped, like something unseen had moved between me and it. Then the humming stopped. The forest went absolutely silent. No wind, no insects, not even the creak of trees. That silence felt alive. Then I heard whispering. I spun around, flashlight in hand. Nothing, but the whispers didn't stop. They just circled me, shifting direction with every breath. It wasn't words at first, just low murmuring, like someone speaking through a wall. I started running. No direction, just away. Branches tore my jacket. I fell once, twice. When I finally stopped to breathe, the light was gone, and the forest was black as pitch. That's when I saw it, another light, far off through the trees, warm, flickering. A cabin. I ran toward it, stumbling out of the darkness and nearly collapsing at the door. I pounded, shouting for help. An old man opened it, lantern in hand. He looked like he hadn't seen daylight in years. White beard, hollow eyes, hands that shook even when still. "You shouldn't be out here," he said. "I'm lost." I gasped. "I came from the logging camp. I just need directions." He hesitated, then stepped aside. "Come in before it follows you." I didn't ask what he meant. I just went in. The cabin was bare. A cot, a stove, shelves lined with jars of cloudy water. The walls were covered in symbols, carved deep into the wood. Circles, spirals, shapes I didn't recognize. He poured me something that tasted like pine and smoke. When I asked his name, he said only, "I was a forester once." "Like you." He stared at the wall as he spoke. "This forest doesn't let things leave." It remembers everyone who's bled here. I told him about the light, the lantern, the compass. He shook his head slowly. That's not a lantern. It's the call. It shows itself different to everyone. For some it's a fire, for some it's a voice. For me it was a woman singing. I asked what it wanted. He smiled weakly. To take you home. Then he blew out the lamp. The night stretched on endlessly. I must have drifted off because I woke to a faint glow seeping through the cracks in the cabin walls, white and pulsing, the same light. I sat up, heart pounding. The old man was gone. The door stood open. I stepped outside. The light hovered among the trees, brighter now, alive, breathing, and behind it, shapes not quite human. They stood tall, elongated, moving with a strange rhythm, like their bones bent wrong. Their faces were pale and blank, like bark stripped of life. They swayed gently toward me. I ran. I don't remember how long I ran. I tripped, rolled down an embankment and hit something hard, a rock maybe. Everything went black. When I came to, it was morning. The light was gone, but I wasn't in the same forest. The trees were thinner, the air warmer. I stumbled until I reached a dirt road, and then I saw the trucks. Rescue crews. They said they'd been looking for me for 9 days. 9. I'd been gone less than 1. When I asked about the others, they told me the logging camp had burned down 3 nights after I left. They found 3 bodies in the ash, 2 burned beyond recognition. The 4th was missing. I went back to the city, tried to rebuild my life. But I kept the compass, the one they found in my pocket. It doesn't work anymore. The needle just spins, endlessly. Sometimes, when I can't sleep, I hear that faint hum again. From the walls, from the ground, from the dark outside my window. Last week, I woke up and saw it. Through the trees beyond my yard, that same white light. Pulsing gently in the fog, I thought maybe it wanted me to follow it again. But tonight, I noticed something worse. The light isn't out there anymore, it's in the hallway, and it's getting closer.